Dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. A warm welcome to you all on the third and pre-quarter round of the very first inter-school English debate competition organized by Bangladesh Television Chattagram Center. Speech is power. It's the power to persuade, to convert, and to compel. And when that speech is expressed in the form of a debate, it becomes a method of interactive and representational argument in which both the teams present their sides of the argument intending on pursuing one another. In a world where children are spoon-fed information passively, critical thinking is lacking as learning is no longer interest-based. However, debating encourages students to think about the topic in depth and form a perspective and adopt the new ideas that are more logical. Dear audience, hoping that debate has made that positive impact on the debaters here today, I, your host, Prapunthi Chakraborty, would love to invite you all to come along and enjoy our very lively debate competition participated by 2 competed teams. Today, the selected motion for the debate competition is: University education should prioritize skill development over knowledge development. The team for the motion belongs to Anaanda Multimedia School and College, Cumilla. The team against the motion belongs to Ishpahani Public School and College, Chattagram. Speakers for the motion are Fahima Akhtar, Mansura Jahan, Tasfiya Ulhad Usha. Speakers against the motion are Ishraq Rahman, Tajil Afroz, Jahin Morsalin. The honorable adjudicators of today's session are Mohammed Nasiruddin, former president, North-South University Debate Club and director, Woodpecker. Fariha Jasmine, assistant professor, Department of International Relations, University of Chittagong. Shabir Shah, founder and CEO, Chittagong Live. The topics on which our honorable judges are going to assign marks in the constructive round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 10, Presentation of Theory and Information 15, Argumentation and Rebuttal 10. The topics on which our honorable judges are going to assign marks in the rebuttal round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 5, Argumentation and Rebuttal 20. Dear audience, now I would love to introduce you to our honorable moderator of today's program, who will be conducting the entire competition and announce the results at the end. The honorable moderator of today's competition is Mohammed Mizanur Rahman, Additional Secretary, Refugee Relief and Repatriation Commissioner. Now, I would most humbly like to request you, sir, to come up on the stage and take your seat. Before we start the debate, I would love to inform you about the order and time allocation of each debater. Each debater will get 5 minutes to present his or her speech. An alarming bell will ring on the 4th minute and the final bell will ring on the 5th minute. In the rebuttal round, the team leaders will get 2 minutes each. Alarming bell will ring on 1.5 minute and the final bell will ring on the 2nd minute. Dear audience, before we get on to the competition, I would like to give you a reminder that from now onwards, you can not only watch our episodes on your television set, but also on Facebook and YouTube. Tune in on facebook.com/BTV Chattagram and www.youtube.com/@BTV Chattagram. Now, I would like to request our honorable moderator to take over the competition and start the debate.
Dear audience, I again welcome to the debate. The title is University Education Should Prioritize Skill Development over Knowledge Development. As you heard today, we have 2 groups. One group from Anaanda Multimedia College, Cumilla, for the motion. And against the motion, the team came from Ishpahani Public School and College, Chattagram. First of all, I welcome the team for the motion. First debater is Fahima Akhtar for the motion.
A father was taking his son to the exam hall by a rickshaw. On the way, he told his son, "Dear, if you don't study well, then someday you will drive rickshaw like this rickshaw puller mama." Instantly, the rickshaw puller replied, "Sir, please don't mind, I am master's passed." Dear opponents, was he meant to be a rickshaw puller, or did his university teach him how to paddle a rickshaw? However, thank you, honorable moderator, love judges, opponents, greetings. Today, the motion before this house is university education should prioritize skill development over knowledge development. And for a very logical reason, I would like to stand for it. This is Fahim Akhtar, the first debater from the team for the motion. First of all, I would like to clarify our today's motion. Our today's motion mainly contains 3 points. These are university education, skill development, and knowledge development. Skill. According to NASD Act 2018, skill includes the knowledge and technique acquired for doing any specific works as per record standard of industrial and professional demand of national and international markets. Knowledge. Knowledge means acquiring something which is theoretical. It's the intellectual understanding of information, knowing the right answer. Now, the main purposes of university education are specialization, research and innovation, personal growth, career advancement, and lifelong learning. Honorable moderator, speaking for the motion, I actually never denied that knowledge development is necessary. But when it's about giving more priority between knowledge and skill in university education, then I would always choose skill. Because without skill, knowledge is just nothing. Let me prove. In our country, there are 53 public universities and 109 private universities. And all of them follow a knowledge-based education system. But when it's about their ranking in the World University Ranking, Dhaka University, the best university of Bangladesh, is in the 1051th, Rajshahi University, 1192th position, Bangladesh University of Engineering Technology, 1422nd, Shahjal University of Science and Technology, 1477th position. Not only this, honorable moderator, they're also lagging behind in case of skill. My dear opponent, was knowledge development is more important than skill development, then why, being so developed in knowledge, our universities can't be in the top 100 or top 500 universities? This is just because of the lack of the skills of the student. Look at MIT, Oxford, Cambridge University. They follow a skill-based education system. They do not give a book to the student and teach them how to make a robot. Rather, they give instruments to the student and tell them to make a robot and teach them practically. That's what a skill-based education system looks like, and that's why they are the top universities in the whole world. Unemployment. Honorable moderator, unemployment is the biggest threat of the lack of skill. According to www.doinikitefaq.com, there are 7 crore 11 lakh employed people in Bangladesh and 25 lakh 90,000 people who are unemployed. According to a news published on Boishakhi TV News with the headline, "Lack of qualified workers, but the increasement of highly educated jobless," where they stated that 1/3 of the total unemployed people are highly educated youth. And the main reason behind this is they are not skilled. The entrepreneurs do not get any skilled population to run their industries. And that's why the researchers urge to create a knowledge-based education system. My dear opponent, but the researchers think that we need a skill-based education system. Here, how can you say that knowledge-based education system is more important? Not only this, honorable moderator, due to having no job after completing graduation and post-graduation, the students got violent on themselves. I'm showing you some newspaper cutting. Washing certificate Shariful, a student of Dhaka University, drank water, published on Doinik Itefaq. A student of Eden College burned her certificate out of anger, published on Bangla Tribune. Suicide of a boy because of unemployment in Kurigram, published on Jugantar News. Suicide of a student of Jahangirnagar University because of unemployment, published on RTB News. Honorable moderator, these are just the teaser of a film, and there are thousands of examples like these. The main reason behind this is unemployment, and it is just because of the unskilled population. All the students have certificates, they have knowledge, so much knowledge, but what they don't have is skill, and that's why they didn't even get a simple job. My dear opponent, you still think that knowledge development is more necessary? I don't hope so. Honorable moderator, there are thousands of legends in our history who were successful in their life just by utilizing their knowledge. Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, they are the world changer. But it's a matter of great wonder that they were dropped out from the universities. But afterward, utilizing their skill, they changed the world. They are now the legends. And their companies change the whole world. That's why, for moderator, I can say that knowledge development is not important at all. Rather, skill development is more important. And for moderator, every university student has skill, but they don't have skill, but they have knowledge. And that's why I can strongly say that university education needs skill development more than knowledge development. Thank you so much.
Now, against the motion, the speaker is Ishraq Rahman.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good day to our honorable moderator, respected judges, our dear opposition party, along with all the audiences present here. Our today's motion is university education should prioritize skill development over knowledge development, and I am speaking against the motion. The process of training man to fulfill his aim by exercising the faculties to its fullest extent as a member of society is called education. Education can be categorized into two types: formal education and informal education. Informal education can be gained from our families, friends, and fellow society members. Formal education refers to the structured education system that runs from primary, secondary, and tertiary level. Tertiary level means the university level of education in our country, which is the highest stage of education. Now, if we talk before coming to my arguments, I would like to state what my first speaker has said and give its answers. First of all, my opposition party's first speaker said that without knowledge, skill is nothing. First of all, let me clear the definition for skill development for you, that skill development is the enhancement of using existing knowledge effectively, organizably, and fashionably. Wherever, without existing knowledge, there can be no production of skill. Knowledge is not dependent on skill. Skill is dependent on knowledge. Knowledge development doesn't depend on skill development. Rather, skill development depends on knowledge development. My next thing, our dear opposition party's first speaker said that they're building robots with skills. So, are they trying to say that without knowledge they can produce robots? Obviously, the answer is no. Then they came to the topic of unemployment and job opportunities. So they are saying that due to less amount of skills in our country and less amount of job opportunities, the country has less of a job opportunities for the students, and there is unemployment in the country. But let me tell you that in Bangladesh, the reason for less job opportunities is not the skill development aspect. Rather, it is due to the high amount of population in our country. Due to this large amount of population in our country, there is unemployment in this country, and there is less opportunities for the students. Then they said that Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg, they all are skill based. That's why they are so much a high aspect people. Now let me again ask this question: from which university did Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg earn skill development? From time to time, there will be geniuses. But we can't, on those geniuses, we can't tell that the university education should be skill-based or knowledge-based. Now, if I come back to my topic, I would like to say, today's university educations in our countries are divided into segments like MBA, BBA, BSc, and many more, which enhance the specific skill. Now, what is knowledge-based education? Education that emphasizes on critical thinking and critical reasoning are basically knowledge-based education. Even if we primarily talk about Bangladesh today, we will be taking global perspective into consideration. Today, with our arguments and reasoning, we are going to prove that the skill development aspect should be developed in the secondary level of education, and in tertiary or so-called university level education, there should be knowledge-based development. Our opposition party needs to answer a very specific question today. On which specific sectors do you think skill development in this university level will develop Bangladesh? I repeat the question, my dear moderator, that on which specific sectors do they think skill development in this university level of education will develop Bangladesh? If you look through the statistics of number of students going from secondary level education to tertiary level of education, we will observe that the tendency of Bangladeshi students going to university level education from secondary level education is more than that of the developed countries like the USA, the UK, and the Canada. What is the reason behind this? That even after the segments were divided, and still the more tendency of Bangladeshi students attending this university, and we are still far less developed than the developed countries. The reason behind this is that Bangladeshi society's perspective. Bangladeshi society's perspective, people think that we must complete university level education to get a job. Whereas the foreign countries have developed their secondary level education on the basis of skill development. And they put their tertiary level of education for knowledge-based education, for knowledge-based purposes. Whereas our country divided this into segments like MBA, BBA and VSc to enhance these specific skills. So what was the result? Our country lagged behind in the economic sector. My second speaker will broadly discuss on how secondary level being skill-based and university level being knowledge-based is more efficient for a country like Bangladesh. After listening all this, it is very important that the university level of education starts being knowledge-based education. Because if the university level starts prioritizing skill development over knowledge development, it will be majorly harmful for the nation. As skill development means enhancing a specific skill with existing knowledge. No new invention, no new ideas will be created along with no new inventions. In the international level, the country will lag behind greatly in the economic sector along with other countries. In human civilization, the main dependence is on newer topics and newer knowledge. My third speaker will explain that on how the university level education being skill-based is more harmful for the country. Thank you, my dear moderator, for giving me the stage to speak.
Second speaker for the motion is Mansoora Jahan.
Let's hear a poet of Sukumar Roy named Jiboner Hishab in short. A scholarman asked the boatman, "Why is the sky blue? Why does tide originates?" The boatman, without being able to answer, looked with wonder. After a while, storm arose at river, and the scholarman was filled with fear. Then the boatman said, "Do you know how to swim?" The scholarman replied in negative. The boatman said, "All your knowledge, even life, is null and void against skill." Thank you, honorable moderator, and all of you. Please take my salam. Assalamu alaikum. Today, the motion of this House is university education should prioritize skill development over knowledge development. This is Mansoora Jahan, the second debater on behalf of today's motion. Padma Bridge, the biggest multi-purpose project of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is Padma Bridge. According to the Polytechnic Daffodil Institution, 23rd July 2023, the main contractor of Padma Bridge is China Major Bridge Engineering Corporation Limited. It was designed by American multinational engineering firm and it was supervised by Korean Expressway. According to Protomola 24th March 2023, around 13,000 people built the Padma Bridge. Among them, thousands are local engineers, 2,500 are foreign engineers, 750 local workers, and 2,500 foreign workers. The total cost to build the Padma Bridge is 30,193 crore taka. Among this, 13,658.99 crore taka was given to China company. It's a huge amount. Dear opponent, we have universities, mechanical engineering sector, teachers and students' knowledge. Then why was the construction work given to China company? I hope you'll give me a logical answer. Not only Padma Bridge, but different types of construction work were done by the foreign countries, such as the Rupert power plant was done by the Russia, even the metro rail was done by the Japan. When we are talking about the skill development, we must have to talk about the health sector. According to a news published in the Times of India on 24 July 2023, that the medical tourists in India came from Bangladesh, which is 54.3%, 9% from Iran, 6% from Maldives, and 8% from Afghanistan. According to the Bangladesh Operators Tour Forum, on average, 8 lakh people go to abroad for medical treatment. Even the president had gone to Singapore hospital for treatment. We are not criticizing him. A news was published on the Prothomalo on 28th August with headline, ব্যবহারিক ঘাটতি নিয়ে শিক্ষা জীবন শেষ. That means the medical life is over with practical deficiency. The students have theoretical knowledge, but they don't have practical knowledge. Our problem is on that place. Why can't we believe in our medical care, though we have medical college, medical universities, and even knowledge doctor in our country? I hope you'll give me a logical answer. Today's world is floating over technology. The nation who is more developed in technology earns much from online and becomes self-dependent. According to a news published on the Shumai TV with the headline, from world's top-rated freelancers, 64% are Bangladeshis. It also added that within 2025, the earning will rise from 2 to 5 billion. It's a very happy news. Dear opponent, do you know why am I telling you this? Because the knowledge-based students studying in computer science and technology search for job for 2 to 3 years. Some gets job while some remains unemployed. Dear opponent, why? Why do they face such difficulties to build up their career? Obviously because of the lackings of skill development. Honorable judges, I'm showing you some successful story of freelancers. The monthly income of class 10 student is more than 10 lakh. A girl learns 6 to 7 lakh taka through freelancing. This is only for their skill. They aren't graduated from computer science and technology, but they earn much than the graduates. Then which one is prioritized here? Skill or knowledge? Question remain. A news is published on Jugantar TV 12 February 2022 that China stopped all the universities for 12 years from 1949 to 1960. Within this time, China provided skill-based training. And that's why China had become the second world largest economic country. Even the mic I'm speaking with is also made in abroad. And I can surely tell that the lights, cameras, all are made in abroad. Dear opponent, why? Why can't we become export-based? Why are we always import-based even though we have knowledge? I hope you'll give me a logical answer. Thank you, dear opponent, as you agree with us in your definition of skill. We said skill is the enhancement of knowledge. Yes, that's what we are trying to say. The enhancement of knowledge is only possible by skill. So thank you once upon. You also stated that which specific sector skill is necessary. I hope you don't know about university. University is universal. Why are you specifying the sector? Skill is always in every sector. It's universal. And you also told about that how will you make robots without skill? Yes, of course we need knowledge, but we need the skill to make the robot. So try to clear your concept. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you, everyone.
Now, against the motion, second speaker is Tazila Froj from Ishpahani Public School and College.
Honorable Moderator, esteemed judges, and my fellow debaters, Assalamu alaikum to one and all present over here. Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the stage to present my arguments. Our today's motion is university education should prioritize skill development over knowledge development. And I'm here to speak against the motion. Now, before I proceed along with my arguments, I would like to clarify some points that have been raised by my opponents. Our opponents are not certifiably mentioning on some sectors where skill needs to be developed. So I would like them to answer me that why the skills are not being developed in the secondary level of education and why are they primarily focused on the tertiary level of education in the university. Now, coming back to my argument. Universities have historically been places of higher learning, intellectual exploration, and critical thinking. So a shift solely towards skill development would actually undermine the whole purpose of education in the society. Because we know since ancient times, human civilization has progressed further only through the acquisition of new knowledge and using them in an efficient manner. Now, according to the World Bank Open data, the percentage of students acquiring secondary education in Bangladesh is 76%. In the United States, it's 85%. In the United Kingdom, 90%. But a drastic fall in participation of these same students is seen when coming to the university or tertiary level of education, with Bangladeshi students pursuing 56%, the United States 45%, and UK just 37.5%. So from the statistical data presented, it's quite clear that Bangladeshi students have a high tendency to pursue university education compared to these nations. Now, what are the reasons behind it? The major reason that can be stated is the cultural expectancy of Bangladeshi students to go to universities in order to pursue a good career. Now, is this fact even true? Because if it was, then why are we still known as a developing nation, whereas USA, UK, Germany are known as developed nations, even when the participation of students in these countries is less than Bangladesh? The major reason behind this is incorporation of skill development in the secondary education instead of university. Countries like the USA, the UK, and Germany ensure the skill development of students in the secondary level by offering them a more well-rounded and holistic education. Now, secondary education is a level where students are still exploring their interest and strength. So skill development at this age actually allows them to have different career opportunities and in their abilities and also making specialized choices in the university. So if skill development is actually ensuring the secondary level, then there is no need to ensure skill development at the university level. Now, why am I saying this? Because since historical times, the purpose of university education has been to ensure research of unknown and unexplored topics and gift humanity with various inventions. But it is a very astonishing fact that even with the high level of participation of Bangladeshi students in university, Bangladesh still ranks 104th in terms of research paper output, with a share of about just 0.06% of the world's total, according to UNESCO Science Report 2021. Now, so what are the major reasons behind it? There are primarily two major reasons. First of all, there's a lack of funding for research and lack of knowledge of researchers. And secondly, there's a lack of proper research infrastructure. Bangladesh lacks the necessary research infrastructure, which makes it difficult for researchers to actually conduct their work and publish their findings. Now, on top of that, if university education starts to provide a skill development just as our opponents are proposing, it will further accelerate the problem. Why am I saying this so? Because if universities start to go skill develop, it will actually hamper students' career. Furthermore, first of all, lack of depth and understanding of the subject. Emphasizing skills with a proper foundation of knowledge can lead to a superficial understanding of subject. Now, this lack of depth might hinder the graduates' ability to adapt to complex, rapidly changing situations that require critical thinking and problem solving based on a broader understanding of subjects. Now, for example, as our opponents are proposing that universities should prioritize skill development. So now suppose a university offers a program that focuses on teaching specific medical procedures and skills. Yes, graduates might become proficient at these certain medical procedures, but in the long term, they will lack a comprehensive understanding of the underlying medical sciences, which will eventually lead to difficulties in diagnosing complex cases and also making informed treatment decisions as they are not familiar with such cases. And now, another thing that I would like to clear over here is that how skill development is actually dependent on knowledge development, and how the scope of skill development is actually incomplete or it's limited if it does not involve the addition of new knowledge. Here's when a term plateauing comes. Now, what exactly is plateauing? Plateauing basically means to reach a stage or level where no growth or basically the declination of progress is seen. So without further acquisition of new knowledge, individuals reach to a point where the skill development starts to plateau. They might become proficient in performing certain tasks, but their growth could actually stagnate. Because without the further addition of new knowledge, individuals are not introduced to fresh perspectives, insights, and techniques, which actually goes on to prove our point that why knowledge development should be prioritized over skill development. Another point that I would like to add over here is how skill development often caters to current industry demands. Overemphasizing this could lead to students being trained primarily for existing job roles, which will potentially leave them ill-prepared for the future shifts in the job market. Now, another thing that I would like to add over here is a limited adaptability. Relying solely on specific skills might leave graduates less adaptable to new technologies, methodologies, or industries, because a strong knowledge base provides a framework for understanding and integrating them into one skill set. Now, though, our opponents are stating that the major reason of unemployment is basically because our manpower is not unskilled. Yes, I do not disagree to the fact. It is a fact that there are a couple of factors that actually influence the unemployment rate in our country. That is the first major reason, is the overpopulation. First of all, due to overpopulation, there are way less job opportunities for the graduates compared to the population. And secondly, yes, it is. I'm not disagreeing to the fact that. Thank you, Almighty, for giving me this chance to speak.
Now the turn is for the team leader for the motion, Tasfiya Ulfat Usha.
Here present, honorable moderator and respected judges, first of all take my salam, assalamu alaikum. Today, the motion of this house is university education should prioritize skill development over knowledge development. And for some logical reasons, I'm for the motion. Honorable moderator, the greatest example of the skill is the present Post and Telecommunication Minister, Mr. Mustafa Jabbar sir. Though he studied in the Bangla department of the Dhaka University, he is a world-famous technologist. He invented a Bangla keyboard named Bijoy Bangla Keyboard. My opponent, this is called skill, this is called development, and this is called achievement. Honorable moderator, I'm showing you a picture of a house. The name of this house is Sparso. The main mission of this house is to research about the space and observe Bangladesh from the space. However, we do not know whether this research institute has any kind of research or how much the people of the country have an idea about the activities of this research institution. Today's officers of this research institution were the students of different famous universities, but the frenzy that occurred about the moon sighting didn't happen in any other countries of the world. About this, Dainik Jugantar has published a news on 5th June 2019 where people are making fun of the National Moon Sighting Committee for making two different announcements. About this, BBC Bangla Online has highlighted some Facebook comments where Fakrul Karim has stated that after confirming tonight's ticket, I cancelled it again. And now I hear that tomorrow is Eid. Who will take the responsibility? Abir Ahmed has stated that you should watch TV before going to Eid congregation as it may be postponed again by saying that the moon has not been seen since it is Bangladesh. My opponent, what is the reason behind this? There is a space research agency, a moon sighting committee, but still, why are we not able to give the right information about the moon? Question remains. Honorable Moderator, a country's independence is the symbol of that country's sovereignty. It is difficult to preserve freedom than to achieve it. But this difficult task can be made easier by the self-reliance on the defense. But Bangladesh still ranks 25th globally in the arms import. We import almost 74% of the arms from China, and not by this. By spending millions of the dollars, we are importing arms from USA, France, Turkey, India, etc. countries. Standing in the 51st year of independence, we are still not dependent on our indigenous arms to defend our freedom. Why your university students can't make those weapons even after completing their university studies? I hope you will give me a logical answer. The World War III is rising in the world due to Russia-Ukraine war. Hope nothing like that happens. But if the World War III somehow breaks out in the world, then the whole world will see the cleanse of the nuclear weapons. Different countries of the world will be destroyed in an instant. That is why different countries are trying to invent a technology that can protect them from the attack of the nuclear weapon. And some countries can neutralize the nuclear weapon with anti-ballistic missiles in the air. In this regard, Israel is the most advanced. Now, my opponent, my question is to you that if a country attacks you like that, do you have such type of technology that can protect you? Your university also have brilliant students, but why they are not able to invent such type of technology? Honorable Moderator, a news went viral where a mother burned the certificates of her son as he could not fix the fan even though he studied electrical engineering. This is the news. My opponent, this is what happens when you don't have any kind of skill. Honorable Moderator, those countries of the world that doesn't have the skill development as in their university are also in the same situation as ours, for example, Myanmar, Philippines, Somalia, etc. Our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina wants to present Bangladesh as a high developed country within 2041. And for this, we need skilled manpower. So please agree with us and say with the same harmony that university education should prioritize skill development over knowledge development. Thank you.
Thank you. Now the turn is for against the motion. The team leader is Jahin Mursalin.
Honorable Moderator, respected judges, and my dear esteemed opponents, Assalamu alaikum to you all. Our today's motion is university education should prioritize skill development over knowledge development, and we are here to speak against the motion. Before starting my arguments, I would like to clear some points that my opponent, third speaker, has told. You have told that we cannot launch Bangamudhu Satellite 1, we cannot make moon sites, we cannot invent any nuclear weapons. You are telling that due to unskilled manpower. What if I say that we don't have fund and we don't do much research in our universities in Bangladesh? What if I say that, Honorable Moderator, we lack a lot of fund here. We don't have a proper infrastructure to do research, to have these things with us. Now, coming back to my point. General education in these days is completely concentrated on theoretical discussions which hardly develop skill of the individuals. In the developed countries, need-based education is highly appreciated as it not only fills up students' necessity but also contributes to skill development. Countries like Bangladesh do not focus in developing skills in secondary education, whereas the first world countries alongside theoretical education teach students skills, vocational trainings and practices it. Due to this fact, a vast amount of students after completing higher secondary education chooses to go to the workforce, and just some of the students pursue their career in tertiary level education. That's exactly what my point is, Honorable Moderator. If we implement skill development in secondary education, we don't need to do it in tertiary level education. Honorable Moderator, my opponents want to say that skill development should be prioritized in university because we don't have skilled manpower. But the aim of university is to give knowledge. Skilled manpower can be very easily made in secondary education by giving vocational and technical education. University is a research center. They research in specific areas, subjects and fields and give newer ideas. With those newer ideas, newer inventions and newer instruments can be made. A most important example can be given here. Countries like Malaysia, countries like Vietnam. Even after being on the same level of Bangladesh in 1990, Vietnam has earned a boost of economic side. They realized only enhancing on specific skills will just make them like workers for the developed countries. And that's when they start giving an enhancement in knowledge-based education in university level and skill training in secondary level. USA does an agreement named TRIPS, that is trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights between all the members of the World Trade Organizations. Through these TRIPS agreements, countries with less amount of products for providing services or producing important products are provided with the necessary products. From the outside, this USA agreement is seemed like a great initiative for equal economic trade in the whole world, but this agreement is also so that the third world countries only continue to enhance their skill and don't do their own inventions and remain as slave for the dominant countries. But if we want to be a developed nation, we have to enhance more on knowledge, critical thinking, and problem-solving abilities. Remember that skills come from knowledge. Knowledge does not come from skills. Now, again coming to Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, there is a cultural expectation that students should go to university. This is because university is seen as a way to improve one's social status and to get a good job. It can be seen that due to this mindset, many parents push their children to go to university, and even if the children are not interested in going there, they are pushed to go there. But they don't understand the fact that if too many people have a tertiary level education, it can lead to a job market situations. Honorable moderator, this means that there are more graduates than there are jobs available for them. Even if they get any jobs, it pays them a very poor amount of salary per month, whereas a driver of an affluent family is paid much more than that amount per month. So, are my opponents trying to say that to have driving skills, a person has to go to university, or by having vocational training, he can have so? Again and again, we have to remember that university will always be known as research center because their primary mission is to generate new knowledge. If universities start prioritizing highly on skill development, then the whole education system and overall economic development will be ruined because skill can be outdated quickly. The pace of technological change is so rapid that skills that are in demand today may not be in demand tomorrow. As well as extinction of newer knowledge will prevail. So, then what's the solution of this problem? The solution is that access to tertiary level education should be limited. As my second speaker has already explained the data of what amount of research is being done in our country and in comparison with other countries in universities, we have to take steps according to it. A criteria has to be set up after finding this out, and according to that requirement, students should be enrolled. Although this might seem to be a very harsh decision at the beginning, in the longer run, it will help us to be developed. Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor.
Now, this is the rebuttal phase. So, let me invite the team leader for the motion, Tashfia Ulfatusha again.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me another chance. At present, there are 29 gas fields in our country. Rupganj and Shangu gas fields were closed due to the lack of skilled manpower, and foreign countries are extracting gas from all other gas fields. As a result, Bangladesh has to spend millions of the dollars behind this. Now, my opponent, what is the main job of BAFEX? Only maintenance. Why BAFEX can't extract gas using Bangladeshi engineers? Honorable Moderator, whenever I look at Rupon nuclear power plant, a proverb comes in my mind. Going to market, looking at others' pocket. Just like that, we are making nuclear power plant with the help of the Russian technicians. Even the reactors that we are using are also made in Russia. Why do we have to depend on Russia for a nuclear power plant, even though we have universities and technologies in our country? Honorable Moderator, Three Idiots is an Indian movie, and this movie, they have also highlighted the importance of the skill development over knowledge development. The three friends had their own skills, and with their skills, they became famous writers, scientists, and photographer. But they had a classmate who only used to memorize and used to be first. But as he had no skills, he could not become much larger than those three friends. He became only a general worker under that scientist. This movie also proves the importance of the skill development over knowledge development. And this movie is inspired from the life of a scientist named Sunam Wangchu. Honorable Moderator, my opponent has stated that we can't do research and we don't have technologies for launching Bangabandhu Satellite 1. My opponent, why don't we have technologies? Only because of the lack of skill. My opponent has stated that about the new ideas. But my opponent, if you don't have skill, then how can you improve our country with your new ideas? Honorable Moderator, they have also talked about the children, but our today's topic is not about the children, it's about the university students. Honorable Moderator, they have also talked about the vocational knowledge, which means skill, and I think they have already agreed with us. Thank you for agreeing with us.
Now, at the rebuttal phase, the team leader against the motion. Again, let me invite Jahin Mursalin.
I'm not denying that. I have never denied the fact that skill development is not important. We are just trying to say that we can develop skills in secondary level rather than doing it in tertiary level. And you guys are continuously saying that we have unskilled manpower. But I repeat, we don't have funding. We don't have proper infrastructure to do these kinds of inventions, to do these kinds of things. Honorable moderator, as my opposition party is continuously saying that skill development should be prioritized in universities. According to World Bank open data, among 100%, only 25.1% of people are taking tertiary level education. But if we make this 25.1% of population skill based, we will see that 1 out of 4 people will be skilled. Rest of them will remain unskilled. But in case of secondary education, we see that 75.49% are taking this education. That means if we develop skill in secondary level education, 3 out of 4 people will be skilled and can make the development. Another fact is that we know our government has implemented a new curriculum in secondary education, which alongside education will make students skilled. But that does not mean that without getting any probable result of how much benefit we have, how much prosperity we did from things in university level education. If after 5 to 10 years, due to this initiative, it makes us more prone to being a developed country, only then we can think about updating skills in tertiary level education in a short amount. Otherwise, this is a totally baseless to include skills in university education. My dear opponents, you mentioned the movie of 3 Idiots. You are saying that with skills they have make inventions, but there was a vast amount of knowledge. You said that a student of theirs only memorized and didn't make any development. But knowledge-based education does not provide you that you should memorize and memorize and memorize. With understanding, with critical thinking, with problem-solving abilities, you have to be not skilled, you have to be innovative, and you have to do inventions. Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor.
Dear audience, we have been enjoying a very good debate, arguments for the motion and also against the motion. This is a very debatable issue in our country, whether the skill development will be taken over on knowledge development at the tertiary level of our education, particularly in the university. A fresh university graduate is expected to be skilled in the particular area where he got the degree. In our country, when we are having the demographic dividend, our population size, if we go into our population size demographic scenario, we'll find that more than half of our population is young, and we are exporting unskilled manpower to the foreign countries, particularly in the Middle Eastern desert countries, where people are actually, doing very hard jobs. In our university education, the people who are coming out with the degree, people blame that they are not that much skilled. But to me, is there any contradiction between skill development and knowledge development? Because we know the phenomena that the university, like Polytechnic University, in our country also, one of the top universities in our country is the engineering and technological university. So though one of the fundamental functions of a university is creating knowledge, but a knowledgeable person is very much expected to be a skilled person. So there is no actually nothing contradiction to in the two area, whether skill development will be taken over on the knowledge development. We hope that one knowledgeable person will be the product of our tertiary education, and he will be the skilled one. So let me declare the final result. But winner team of today is Ishpahani Public School and College. Best speaker, Tashfia Ulfat Usha, who is from Anaanda Multimedia School and College, Cumilla. He spoke for the motion. Thank you very much for watching this debate.